What's good, guys? Spud here, and welcome to episode 80 of the Roundup. 80 episodes. It's crazy. It's crazy, really, with this far through. Very short one today. This is just a filler before champs predictions, obviously. Obviously, we're going to look at the Falcons WrestleMania situation, where Aluka is going to be getting his chance in the Call of Duty League, but just for champs. Neptune was set to join Falcons, but that deal is now off, and Neptune will return to the Gentlemates bench. The buyout was prepared to be activated as well by Falcons, but Aluka is in for Pred. Kismet is now back in the lineup, and we're obviously going to be doing our end of season awards. Um, so yeah, pretty quick on this one. If you do enjoy though, please do like, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, obviously next week's episode will be champs predictions, and then obviously episode 82 will be our champs special this year. I think it's episode 15 in the 24 season, episode 50 in the 25 season, episode 82, which means it'll be 32 episodes from champs 25 to champs 26. Obviously we're going to get to that 100th episode next year. Probably like some point during Major 3 next year, Major 2, Major 3. Just depends on what the schedule's like. Anyway, let's get into it. So as you can see, Neptune, the deal collapsed just as the team was preparing to submit everything for league approval. According to sources, the breakdown wasn't related to the buyout itself. Gentlemates had accepted the Falcons' offer and were willing to let Neptune explore all future options. Both sides worked through several early hurdles, and Neptune even scrimmed with the prospective lineup, finding some success in the initial practices. Now, there's obviously been a lot of talk about, oh, Exnid keeps his space on the roster. Is he the dictator? How does he keep his roster spot when he's been underperforming? But the Falcons want to keep a Saudi player on the team. That's something that they've made clear. So Exnid not going anywhere. Some people said that's why this deal fell through, because Neptune wanted to play with Pred. But I don't believe that's the case. Instead, the plug appears to be pulled late in the process while Neptune was ready to join the Falcons. His representatives advised against the move for reasons that haven't been fully disclosed. The expectation is that they're wary of the limited job security on a roster likely to chase elite free agents in the upcoming off-season, which could leave Neptune vulnerable once the market opened. That's fair enough. The Falcons were fully aware of the esports World Cup roster lock rules and the risk involved, but believed they could secure approval for a two-man change without triggering penalties. Well, of course, they'd just pay them off if they, you know what I mean? They would have allowed it. The confidence was notable given the Royal Ravens were previously banned from the event for breaking the same rule. With Neptune now off the table, the Falcons have reverted to an earlier plan. We can confirm that Kismet will return to the starting lineup alongside Aluka. So Aluka will be joining Falcons. I believe it's just a loan from FaZe to the end of EWC. Because obviously people do forget that Aluka joined FaZe after that really good like Challengers Cup, and then has actually like underperformed in Challengers since. Hasn't been on the CDL roster, so he's going to get a chance here at Champs. Obviously, even though he's going to be part of Champs and probably EWC as well for Falcons, he will still technically be a rookie next year if he's on another team. Obviously, he's not going to be on the Falcons next year, I doubt. Falcons team will be quite interesting next year. I think they might let Celium go. To be honest, I think Falcons off-season WrestleMania is going to be really interesting. But my early prediction is that Exnid is the only player that stays on the team. I think that Celium might leave, and obviously he's going to have made like $700,000 base salary plus any event winnings, but they haven't really got very far. Top six, they haven't actually made much money. Obviously, champs and EWC can change that because they're the tournaments where you get the most money. But I do think that I don't know where could Celium return to FaZe next year, like potentially, or could he go to Thieves and play with the BZ? We'll have to see. But I think Rostermania, with Falcons being in the league, Rostermania is really interesting. I don't know how Falcons will do. Obviously, I haven't thought about my predictions for champs yet. I'm looking forward to it though. Obviously, the final of the World Cup is on at the same time as the final of champs, I think. But obviously, I can watch the World Cup on a TV and champs on my phone, unless England are playing, and then I'll probably be out. I don't know. Like, that's the difficult thing. So I'll have to just see what happens. But if there's a chance I miss champs, it'll be disappointing, but I might have to watch the champs grand final without finding out who won champs, basically. Anyway, we're going to get into our end of season awards. So if you guys saw my end of season awards in 2024 or 2025, it's just the same format. So we're just going to get straight into it with the top 5 coaches. I am going to move the webcam just to this right hand side. Then again, you can't see the 2026, but we'll test it here. Anyway, so top 5 coaches. This season, I've not put any honourable mentions, which I did last year. And also, if teams are coached by more than one person that I'm aware of, I'm just going to put both names down. So I've gone for Optic first with Karma and JP. This is just because obviously they won that grand final at Major 4, and obviously average placing of second, first. Ridiculous consistency from Optic this year. If Optic had lost that final to Thieves, I think I would have probably put Optic second still for the coaching staff. But yeah, Karma, JP, Shane Sender second, pretty straightforward. On Breaking Point's website, it didn't specify who Gentlemate's coaches were, but I believe it's Mayhem and Vios have some impact, so I've gone for those. Looney from G2. I think G2 have had an okay season. Looney's obviously a coach that used to be under the spotlight a lot under Rocker, but I think he's fine in fourth. And then I've put Crowder just because obviously FaZe did win an event. They've had a poor season, but I didn't really know who else to put. Maybe you could have argued like Joe and Flux from Koi, but anyway, that's what we've gone for. Top 5 ARs in 2026. So I've gone for Abuser in 5th, Sib in 4th, Mercules in 3rd, Scrap 2nd, and Dashi 1st. Obviously, we saw my MVP ladder, so that's pretty obvious that who I was going to go for. Dashi 1st, I just think ridiculous consistency this season, some insane players, and yeah, a really good season from the vet. Mercules hasn't had the best of seasons, obviously, but 3rd place I think is fair. Scrap obviously had a really good season after Major 1. Sib obviously had a great Major 1. I think he's had some really good players in him this year. And the 5th AR was difficult because Gorsy's been inconsistent. Noim's done alright, but I've gone for a Boozer. Yeah, I'm happy with that. If we then move on to the SMGs. So Hydra's in 5th, Shotzi's in 4th, Joe Deceives in 3rd, Simp in 2nd, and Huke in 1st. You could put these 5 any order, I think. These have been the best 5 SMGs in the game this year. Then you've got players like, honestly, like Abizi missing out, All4 missing out. I'll even say Estrel missing out. I think Estrel's been pretty good this year. Hence why I got that decent move to Gentlemates. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with those. I think that like you could put Joe Deceives at number 1, no one would say anything. You could put him at number 5, no one would say anything. It's difficult. I've just gone for Huke because I think there's been times this year where Mercules and Shotzi struggled a little bit more, and Huke and Dashi stepped up. It's a difficult one, but I've gone for Huke here. I obviously had Huke at number 1 for MVP ladder going into the event and dropped him down to 3rd, even though Optic won, just because mainly his grand finals performance wasn't the best. So 2026 All-Star teams, obviously, so that'll be the best 2 ARs and best 2 SMGs, and then the second best 2 ARs and second best 2 SMGs. So it's Dashi, Scrap, Huke, and Simp. Mercury, Sib, Joe, Deceives, and Shotzi. Obviously, that was obvious based on who the top 4 were for each category. What will the All-Star teams look like? I don't think Hugh would be on the first team. I think they probably will. I think Joe Deceives will be on the first team. It is vote. I'm pretty sure it is fan voted though, so gentlemates could just go crazy on the voting, and it could be Sib with Scrap or Sib with Dashi. But I think these are fair. As long as these are the 8 players, I'd say that's fair. Hydra might get in, to be fair. He's the only outsider. So it's time for the most improved player award. Now we're going to do a most. I think it's a bit hard to do a most improved ladder, but I guess it's. I don't know. I'll think about it going into next season. If we do one, it would have to start at Major 2, so it's the gap between 2026 season and they've obviously had a full Major to see how they've improved. It was between Kremp and Estriel, but I've actually gone for Kremp just because his consistency has improved a lot this year. Since obviously he's been on the Thieves, he's been on Cloud9, he's Boston Breach. He's been on a few teams now, Kremp, but I think this has been his best season. And yeah, like I said, it was a coin toss between Kremp and Estriel. But I'm happy with Kremp. I think he's had a good season and he's at champs. See how G2 do, obviously, and obviously G2 at EWC. That's come up twice for some reason. Rookie of the year, pretty straightforward in my opinion. Kips is a fantastic rookie, but I just think because of the fact that Thieves won an event, got to a grand finals, since Nwim joined it, has to be Nwim for me. But both Nwim and Kips really good, and it just shows the Huntsman started off such a good idea, but it obviously hasn't really worked out as much since. MVP. You could have Dashi Scrap. You could pick. For me, it's between Dashi and Scrap. Last year, I thought it was between Scrap and Celium. I can't remember if I think I had Celium on my MVP ladder as number 1 and changed for this video Scrap. And who won MVP last year? I think Scrap won it. This year, I'm going to go Dashi though. I'd love Dashi to win MVP. I think he deserves it as well. He's had a fantastic, fantastic season. Um, but it's a difficult one. Like I said though, this was a really, really quick episode. That is this. That is it. That might be the shortest ever roundup. Um, it was just a filler episode. We'll be back next week for champs predictions. Any other drama, any other news. We might do challenges champs predictions as well whilst we're there. But make sure to like if you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.